Welcome to our channel, where we explore the eerie and the unexplained. Today we will delve into the mysteries of 5 of Japan's most famous cursed objects. These items, steeped in cultural history and shrouded in dark legends, offer a glimpse into the supernatural side of Japanese folklore. First on our list is the Kotoribako, a seemingly simple wooden box crafted with dark magic. Its origins trace back to the Meiji era, and it's said to bring death and destruction to those who open it. Next, we have Hikaru San's painting, a portrait of a young girl with eyes that seem to follow you. This painting, displayed at Matsuyama University, has been the source of numerous tragedies and continues to instill fear in those who encounter it. Then we will talk about the achan doll, a toy that, due to a manufacturing defect, became a vessel for malevolent forces. These dolls have been known to move on their own and whisper ominous messages to their owners. Our journey continues with the Muramasa sword, forged by the legendary swordsmith Muramasa Sengo. These swords are renowned for their sharpness and bloodlust, driving their wielders to madness and violence. Finally, we will explore Okiku's well at Himeji Castle, haunted by the spirit of a young servant girl who met a tragic end. Her restless spirit is said to emerge from the well, counting plates and seeking vengeance. These stories, rich with cultural and historical significance, reveal the deep-rooted beliefs and fears in Japanese society. Prepare yourself for an unforgettable journey into the heart of these chilling legends. In the late 19th century, during Japan's Meiji era, a small secluded village in Shimane Prefecture became the birthplace of one of the most sinister artifacts known to history, the Kotoribako. This village was a haven for those fleeing government persecution. Among the refugees was a mysterious stranger from the nearby Oki Islands, who arrived one fateful night, seeking sanctuary. The villagers, driven by fear and desperation, accepted the stranger's offer. In exchange for shelter, he would teach them to create a powerful object capable of cursing their enemies. Thus began the dark legacy of the Kotoribako. The stranger, rumored to be a disgraced onmyoji, an ancient practitioner of Japanese esoteric cosmology, imparted his dark knowledge to the villagers. They created small, ornate wooden boxes, each adorned with intricate carvings and arcane symbols. These symbols, he explained, were crucial to imbuing the box with its dark power. Once the box was constructed, the first step in the ritual was to fill it with the blood of a female animal, leaving it to ferment and stagnate for a week. This was merely the beginning. The true horror lay in the next step: human sacrifices. The villagers, now complicit in this dark ritual, would kidnap children, chosen for their innocence and purity. The number of sacrifices varied, with some boxes requiring just 1, while others needed up to 8. The children's blood and essence were infused into the box, sealing their fate and imbuing the Kotoribako with its deadly curse. Once the Kotoribako was completed, it was ready to be unleashed upon an unsuspecting victim. The box was designed to be difficult to open, but once solved, it would release its curse with devastating speed. A symbol would be carved onto the box, designating the intended target. The box was then placed near the victim. Upon opening, the curse would activate, causing immediate and severe physical reactions: dizziness, nausea, and excruciating pain. The victim would vomit blood as their internal organs began to rupture. If the box remained close to the target, they would die an agonizing death within 24 hours. As the villagers became adept at crafting these cursed objects, they began to realize the immense danger they posed. The stranger, having fulfilled his part of the bargain, disappeared as mysteriously as he had arrived. But the knowledge he imparted had taken root, and the dark tradition of the Kotoribako continued, albeit in secret. Over time, the existence of the Kotoribako became a closely guarded secret. Some boxes, their power spent, were taken to shrines for purification rituals, attempting to cleanse them of their malevolent energy. Others were passed down through generations, their dark power enduring. These heirloom Kotoribako were stored with elaborate rituals to contain their evil. Families or shrine keepers would perform intricate ceremonies to ensure the boxes remained dormant. Yet, despite these precautions, the boxes occasionally found new victims, their curses as potent as ever. The symbols on the Kotoribako were said to be from an ancient language, one that only a few could decipher. These symbols played a crucial role in the box's dark power. Misreading or incorrectly interpreting them could result in the curse rebounding on the one who opened it, causing immediate and severe consequences. In modern times, some archaeologists and historians have reportedly discovered Kotoribako-like artifacts in remote temples and ancient family crypts across Japan. These discoveries have sparked fear and fascination in academic circles. The artifacts are treated with extreme caution, often subjected to extensive purification rituals to prevent any potential curses from affecting those who handle them. One stormy night, as the village lay cloaked in darkness, a stranger appeared at the edge of town. His robes, tattered and soaked from the rain, clung to a lean, almost spectral frame. He spoke of persecution and rebellion, his voice carrying the weight of ancient knowledge and unspoken horrors. Desperate for protection and driven by fear, the villagers offered him refuge, unaware of the darkness they were inviting into their midst. Under the stranger's guidance, the villagers began crafting the Kotoribako. The process was intricate and terrifying, each step steeped in ritual and blood. As the boxes took shape, so did the villagers' understanding of their true nature. The stranger's teachings grew darker, his instructions more sinister. Yet, the promise of power and protection kept the villagers bound to their gruesome task. In 1970, Matsuyama University in Ehime Prefecture became the reluctant home to a chilling painting known as Hikaru San's painting. This unsettling artwork depicted a young girl with long black hair, wearing a yellow shirt and staring off the canvas, her eyes seemingly following viewers with a life of their own. The painting, titled Shoujo or Girl, quickly earned the moniker Hikaru San's painting due to the signature on the back by a mysterious Hikaru Sato. At first, it appeared to be a rather ordinary, if somewhat eerie, piece of art. However, the painting soon gained a dark reputation. The origins of Hikaru San's painting are shrouded in mystery. Some believe the girl in the painting was the artist's lover, who died tragically. Stricken with grief, the artist supposedly transferred her spirit into the painting, ensuring they would never be apart. Another version claims the girl depicted was a student at Matsuyama University, who died after being accidentally locked in the university's basement. Her spirit, seeking vengeance, was said to have cursed the painting with a juon, a vengeful grudge. Soon after the painting was hung, strange occurrences began. Students and faculty reported that the girl's eyes seemed to follow them as they walked by. Her expression, at times, appeared to subtly change, adding to the unsettling atmosphere. More disturbing were the stories of misfortune befalling those who interacted too closely with the painting. Those who scrutinized it, spoke ill of it, or worst of all, pointed at it, soon experienced sickness, accidents, or even death. One student, after touching the painting, lost the use of his hand in a freak accident. Another group of students, in a desperate attempt to destroy the painting, tried to burn it. The next morning, the painting was found hanging back in its original spot, untouched by flames, and the students involved all suffered horrific injuries. Despite the name Hikaru Sato on the back of the painting, no records of such a person existed at the university. Some speculated that it was a pseudonym used by the artist to hide his true identity. The real painter, it was rumored, went mad after completing the painting and disappeared without a trace. Some believed he had become another victim of the curse he created. As the painting's dark reputation grew, the university administration faced increasing pressure to remove it. However, each attempt to move or store the painting was met with disaster. One night, a group of administrators and staff gathered to seal the painting in the basement. As they carried it down the stairs, one man slipped and fell, breaking his neck. Another suffered a heart attack immediately after touching the painting. Eventually, the painting was locked away in a small hidden room in the basement, but the fear and rumors persisted. Today, the painting remains sealed in the university's basement, but its legend continues to haunt the halls. Students still whisper about the cursed painting, claiming to hear faint whispers or see fleeting shadows near the basement. Some even dare each other to find the hidden room and face Hikaru San's painting, but none have succeeded. The story of Hikaru San's painting is a chilling reminder of the unknown forces that can linger within seemingly ordinary objects. Whether the tales are true or merely the result of overactive imaginations, the painting's dark legacy endures, a testament to the enduring power of fear and superstition. In 1967, a manufacturing defect at a Japanese toy factory produced a batch of achan dolls with an extra leg. These dolls, originally intended to be the perfect companions for young girls, quickly became objects of fear and dread. The defect was not merely a physical anomaly, it was the harbinger of a sinister curse. The official story was that the defect occurred due to a simple oversight during production. However, whispers among the factory workers told a different tale. A young woman, employed at the factory, had died tragically in an accident. Some believed her restless spirit became entwined with the dolls, leading to the creation of the cursed three-legged achan. After the defective dolls were discovered, the factory was abruptly shut down. All records of the dolls' production were mysteriously erased, and the building itself was left to decay. This sudden closure and the disappearance of documents only fueled the rumors and fears surrounding the dolls. The exact number of cursed dolls and their whereabouts became a haunting mystery. Families who unwittingly brought the cursed dolls into their homes began to experience terrifying phenomena. The dolls would move on their own, changing positions overnight. Some owners reported hearing whispers in the dark, soft voices repeating, "I am achan, and I am cursed." The dolls' presence induced vivid, horrifying nightmares, and attempts to discard or destroy them always ended in failure. One family, desperate to rid themselves of the cursed doll, left it at a remote shrine. They returned home, believing they were free, only to find the doll sitting on their doorstep the next morning. The doll's eyes seemed to gleam with malevolent satisfaction, and the family's misfortunes escalated. Accidents, illnesses, and even death. Stories spread of families taking the dolls to shrines for purification. These rituals were elaborate and often performed by priests with special abilities. The process was arduous, involving chanting, offerings, and the use of sacred objects. Even so, success was not guaranteed. Only a few priests were believed to possess the true power to break the curse, and these rituals had to be conducted with utmost precision. One particularly chilling account involved the Tanaka family. They found a three-legged achan doll in their attic, left there by the previous homeowners. At first, they thought it was a harmless toy, but soon, strange things began to happen. Their youngest daughter, Yuki, claimed the doll spoke to her, telling her secrets only she knew. At night, the family heard footsteps in the hallway, always leading back to Yuki's room. Desperate, Mr. Tanaka decided to burn the doll. He took it to the backyard, doused it in gasoline, and set it ablaze. As the flames consumed the doll, a blood-curdling scream echoed through the house. The fire extinguished itself inexplicably, and the doll was untouched, sitting in the ashes with a malevolent grin. That night, Yuki fell gravely ill, her condition worsening by the hour. In a final act of desperation, the Tanakas sought out a renowned priest known for his ability to handle such curses. The priest performed an intense purification ritual, which lasted through the night. By dawn, Yuki's condition improved, and the doll was sealed in a sacred box, buried deep beneath the shrine. The Tanakas moved away, but the memory of the cursed doll haunted them for the rest of their lives. In the shadowy world of ancient Japan, where the line between honor and death was as sharp as a katana's blade, lived a swordsmith whose creations would become the stuff of legend and terror. Muramasa Sengo was not just any swordsmith, he was a genius whose blades were unparalleled in quality and lethality. Yet his volatile temperament and fervent prayers for his swords to become great destroyers cast a dark shadow over his masterpieces. Muramasa's madness was well known. He would often fly into violent rages, cursing and striking out at those around him. His fervent prayers during the forging process were not for protection or peace, but for destruction. It is said that he would cut his own palms, letting his blood drip onto the hot metal, infusing his own rage and insanity into the very essence of the sword. The swords he created were known for their sharpness and durability, prized by samurai and generals alike. But these swords, born from blood and fury, were believed to be cursed. The curse manifested as a berserker rage that overtook the wielder, granting them superhuman strength and skill, but at the cost of their sanity. The swords demanded blood, and if they weren't sated by the enemies, they would turn on their owners. The Tokugawa shogunate, Japan's last feudal military government, played a significant role in cementing the sinister reputation of Muramasa's swords. Tokugawa Ieyasu, the founder of the shogunate, believed that Muramasa's swords harbored a curse against his family. His father, Matsudaira Hirotada, and his grandfather, Matsudaira Kiyoyasu, both fell to assassins wielding Muramasa blades. Ieyasu himself was cut by one of these swords, wielded by a guard during an inspection. Convinced of their malevolence, Ieyasu banned Muramasa swords, ordering their destruction. Yet, many were hidden away, their distinctive features altered to escape detection. Despite the risk, these swords remained highly sought after, particularly by those who opposed the Tokugawa clan, believing the swords could bring them victory against the shogunate. One of the most infamous tales involves a Muramasa sword named Juchi Yosamu, or 10,000 Cold Nights. The wielder of this sword was said to become unstoppable in battle, cutting down foes with terrifying efficiency. But the sword's bloodlust was insatiable. After the battle, the warrior would find it impossible to sheathe the blade without spilling more blood. In desperation, many turned the blade on themselves, driven to suicide by the sword's relentless thirst. Another story tells of a samurai named Hattori Hanzo, who wielded a Muramasa blade with great skill. Hanzo was known for his calm demeanor and strategic mind, but once he drew his Muramasa sword, he transformed into a relentless killing machine. His comrades spoke in hushed tones of his eyes turning wild, his movements becoming almost mechanical as he cut down enemies and allies alike. Hanzo eventually went mad, unable to escape the sword's grip on his soul, and died in a frenzied rampage. As Tokugawa's ban took effect, a black market for Muramasa swords and their forgeries thrived. Lesser swordsmiths crafted imitations, hoping to cash in on the legendary status of Muramasa's blades. This proliferation of fakes made it difficult to distinguish genuine Muramasa swords from the forgeries, a challenge that persists to this day. Experts and collectors still argue over the authenticity of certain blades, each seeking the elusive true Muramasa sword, hoping to possess its unparalleled craftsmanship, and perhaps secretly to test the boundaries of its reputed curse. In modern Japan, the legacy of Muramasa's cursed swords continues to fascinate and terrify. Museums and private collections house these legendary blades, often under strict security and in sealed displays, more to keep their dark influence contained than to protect them from theft. Occasional reports of mishaps and strange occurrences around these swords keep the legend alive. One recent tale involves a wealthy collector who acquired a supposed Muramasa katana. Despite extensive purification rituals, he began experiencing vivid nightmares and unexplained injuries. Convinced of the sword's curse, he donated it to a shrine where it now resides, sealed and blessed, its dark power held at bay. On the grounds of Himeji Castle in Hyogo Prefecture stands a peculiar, octagonal well, surrounded by 32 stone pillars. This well, known as Okiku's well, is not just a historical artifact, but a centerpiece of one of Japan's most enduring ghost stories. Its waters are said to be haunted by the spirit of Okiku, a young servant girl whose tragic fate has echoed through the centuries. Okiku was a beautiful and loyal servant in the household of a powerful samurai. Her dedication and integrity made her beloved by her peers, but also caught the unwanted attention of her master. The samurai, consumed by desire, repeatedly attempted to seduce Okiku, but she steadfastly refused his advances. In a fit of rage and frustration, the samurai devised a cruel plan. He claimed that one of 10 valuable decorative plates was missing and accused Okiku of theft. The penalty for such a crime was death. Okiku, desperate to prove her innocence, searched frantically for the missing plate but to no avail. The samurai then offered her a grim choice: submit to his desires or face the consequences of the theft. Okiku, maintaining her honor, refused. Enraged, the samurai threw her into the well, condemning her to a watery grave. Her spirit, filled with sorrow and anger, could not rest. Each night, she would emerge from the well, counting the plates one by one, always stopping at 9 before letting out a bone-chilling scream that reverberated through the castle grounds. Visitors to Himeji Castle often report feeling a sense of unease as they approach Okiku's well. Some speak of an overwhelming sadness, while others describe hearing faint whispers and the sound of water dripping, even on dry days. The legend persists that if someone displeases Okiku or resembles the samurai who wronged her, she will appear, counting the plates. Upon reaching 9, she will scream, and the victim will be stricken with a terrible misfortune or sudden death unless they shout out 10 at precisely the right moment, signifying the missing plate. In modern times, the legend of Okiku's well continues to captivate and terrify. One night, a group of university students, skeptical of the old stories, decided to investigate the well. Armed with flashlights and recording equipment, they gathered around the ancient stones, laughing and joking about the ghostly tales. As midnight approached, the air grew colder, and a heavy silence descended upon them. One student, daring to test the legend, leaned over the well and shouted, "Okiku, where are your plates?" The group laughed nervously, but their laughter was cut short by a soft, mournful counting that seemed to rise from the depths of the well. 1, 2, 3. The students froze, their faces draining of color as the counting continued. When the count reached 9, a piercing scream shattered the night, sending them fleeing in terror. The next morning, the students shared their experience with the castle staff. One of the staff members, an elderly groundskeeper, listened quietly before nodding. "You have encountered Okiku's spirit," he said. "Her sorrow and rage are bound to this well. You are fortunate to have escaped." In addition to the traditional legends, some believe that Okiku's well holds deeper secrets. It is said that beneath the well lies a hidden chamber where the samurai who condemned Okiku conducted dark rituals. According to this version of the story, Okiku's death was not just a crime of passion, but part of a larger, more sinister plot. The well itself, with its unusual octagonal shape and surrounding pillars, may have been designed to contain the spiritual energy released by these rituals. Every year on the anniversary of Okiku's death, a solemn ceremony is held at Himeji Castle. The castle's caretakers, along with local priests, perform a purification ritual to appease Okiku's spirit and ensure her wrath remains contained. Offerings of food and flowers are placed by the well, and prayers are recited to bring peace to her restless soul. Despite these efforts, the legend of Okiku's well continues to grow. Visitors from around the world come to Himeji Castle, drawn by the allure of its beauty and the haunting tale of Okiku. Some leave with a deeper appreciation of the castle's history, while others depart with an unsettling sense that the past is never truly gone. Some legends are not just stories. They are whispers of the past, echoes of the unknown, reminders of the darkness that can linger just out of sight. From the depths of Okiku's well, to the haunted beauty of Hikaru San's painting, from the sinister presence of achan, to the deadly curse of the Muramasa sword and the malevolent power within Kotoribako, these tales remind us that some things are best left undisturbed. Do you dare to believe? These haunted legends are more than mere stories. They are warnings of what happens when we venture too far into the unknown. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more tales of the unknown, if you dare.